Welcome to today's What Will Move the Market show. I'm your host Prem. It's Friday, September 26th, 2025, and here is everything you need to know as the markets open for today. Let's first head to Wall Street for the overnight action. It was another rough session for US equities. The Dow Jones Futures closed at 45,955, flat to slightly higher by 0.02%. However, both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq slipped significantly by 0.5% each, closing at 6,605 and 22,385 respectively. The market mood turned risk-off as the US dollar surged alongside metals, a rare combination. Confidence was shaken further as the US Secretary of War summoned generals worldwide, hinting at mounting geopolitical tensions and leaving many investors uneasy about what comes next. This weighed on stocks while bond yields soared. Among major movers, technology and consumer names were under pressure, and the hardest hit were cryptocurrencies, with Bitcoin tumbling below $110,000 and Ethereum sliding under $4,000. The session wrapped with broad-based weakness, and tonight's focus will be on fresh inflation readings with core PCE data and key commentary from Fed officials, keeping volatility in play. On the Indian ADR front, sentiment was equally somber. Infosys ADRs posted a sharp decline, down nearly 2.9% overnight, suggesting the stock could see significant pressure at the Indian Open today. Meanwhile, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank ADRs both slipped around 0.5%. Major domestic-facing counters like Tata Motors were relatively steady, but there's a clear overall risk-off bias. Turning to Asia, it's a cautious start for the region. GIFT Nifty is signaling a soft open for Indian markets, currently at 24,928, down 0.13%. The Nikkei in Japan has slipped 0.38% to 45,580, showing little enthusiasm after last night's moves. Hong Kong's Seng is lower by 0.13% at 26,485. South Korea's KOSPI is under more pressure, losing 1.55% and settling at 3,417. Shanghai Composite in China is flattish, down 0.01% at 3,853. Investors across the zone remain wary, waiting for Tokyo's latest inflation data and global cues for direction. In global headlines, the biggest market-moving story has been the strengthening US dollar paired with strong metals, after statements from US officials pointed to possible military posturing. This unusual combination spooked risk assets, battered cryptocurrencies, and drove a move towards safe haven sectors. All eyes remain on the upcoming core inflation print and comments from US Fed leaders, both of which are likely to set the tone for global markets into the weekend. For India, early market cues are on the defensive, with major private banks like HDFC and ICICI facing pre-market weakness and Infosys set for a rocky start. Overall sentiment remains risk-averse. FIIs have been net sellers through the week. There are no major IPO launches or headline SEBI changes as per the latest data this morning, but focus remains on sector rotation, with investors keenly watching for bottoming signs in IT and banking. Technically, look for the Nifty 50 to find its first support near 24,800 range, with resistance coming in first at 25,000 and then at 25,150. Bank Nifty support is expected around 54,700, while resistance sits closer to 55,600. If these support zones break, further selling could accelerate. On the upside, reclaiming 200 points in Nifty could spark short covering. In commodities, crude oil continues its grind higher, supported by geopolitical jitters, while gold and silver have remained stable despite the stronger dollar. Base metals are holding up, but face headwinds from global risk-off trades. Here's your actionable plan for today. Remain cautious, especially in frontline IT and private banking names, until signs of stabilization emerge. Defensive pockets like FMCG and select pharma could attract interest as the market looks for safety. Keep a close eye on intraday moves linked to US inflation data and any major global headlines. Today's session could see swift changes. Stay tuned for the evening wrap and send in your questions. This is Prem, signing off from What Will Move the Market, wishing you a thoughtful and successful trading day.